But how would y'all like games, sir? I would just wait for
Yo, she's so low. I'm about to just go like ambush or shit.
You might as well. Oh, be careful, she may have her. Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me. That's fine. I mean, I can just shoot at
you can just... Not very much. Please. I mean, have...
So if you've played Overwatch for, I don't know, let's say more than 3 hours competitively, you've most likely heard this phrase before. And the phrase is, DPS aren't DPSing. Now, if someone puts it in the chat, you'll usually see like an LOL, a LOL, an LMAO after it to show that they're not actually mad about what just happened. You know, that good old passive-aggressive nature. This way, if someone says something about it, they can just say, oh, I'm not even mad, LOL, when they're really fucking livid. Now, as someone who primarily plays DPS, this phrase pisses me the fuck off. So what does this phrase mean exactly? Well, to put it simply, basically, whoever said that is blaming the whole loss of the team fight or the round or the game, whatever. They're blaming it solely on the DPS. Now, imagine every time something went wrong in someone else's lives, they would just blame you. Or you know what? Let's say there's this guy, Jeff, right? And let's say his cat dies. And Jeff says, oh shit, my cat died. Well, it definitely has nothing to do with the fact that I didn't feed him for 3 weeks. You know what? It's all Jonathan's fault. Fuck Jonathan. Like, do you not see the problem here? Now, this is not my first pew pew game, okay? I've been pew pewing since I was 14. I got an Xbox. I pew pewed on there for about 3 or 4 years. Got a PC. Played casually for about a year and a half. But I've been pew pewing seriously for about a good year now. And I'm very confident in my pew pew skills. So if there's ever a time where I don't pew pew or I stop pew pewing, there's a fucking reason behind it. But people don't think about that. Instead, they just see you not pew pewing and they're like, oh, this soldier's bad. It's like, hey man, did you ever stop to think for a second why I can't pew pew? Hey, maybe I can't pew pew because this fucking Winston keeps diving me every fight. And if I don't see the Winston coming, I have two options. One, I can run away like a scared little bitch. Or I can try and fight him off for 20 seconds. But you know what happens in that 20 seconds? You got the enemy Genji. The Genji, he's finger blasting my Mercy and my Ana at the same time. And they die. And I can't do anything about it. Honestly, if at the end of the match you have nothing else better to say than DPS weren't DPSing, then you most likely have no idea what the fuck happened that entire game. Because if you did, you'd have more to say about it than that. Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody plays this game perfectly. This game's been out for over a year, and there are still people who don't understand that this is a team game. Like I said before, there's always a reason something's happening. I can't DPS if my tanks aren't making space for me. And if tanks aren't getting healed, that means they have to back off, which means no space for me. There's a hole in someone's play, and it needs to get plugged. Now, I'm not saying it's never the DPS's fault. Sometimes it honestly is. Sometimes we get outplayed. It happens. Think about it. You're basically a wandering street dog. Nobody wants anything to do with you, and quite frankly, people wish you were dead. Now, there will be times where your DPS are worse than the other team's DPS, but instead of yelling at them for getting bodied, why don't you support them instead? Remember, teamwork comes before individual skill in this game. You can have a team that is mechanically worse than the other team, but if you work with your team and shut down key targets on the other team, you can still win. Alright, I'm gonna wrap this up now because I've been talking for 3 minutes and it feels like I've been talking for 3 decades. So, in the next match you get into, instead of blaming DPS or blaming anybody on your team in general, try to think of what might be stopping them from doing their job. Or, think about what the other team is doing that your team isn't and why it's working for them. And then once you think about that, maybe you can go a step further and think of a solution to the problem. Most of the time, there are legitimate reasons why your teammates can't do the things they want. Well, that about does it for me. Thank you so much for watching, listening to my rant. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave me a like, support your boy. If you think I'm full of shit, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace. What's the long point? Oh, fuck me. Please.